Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another episode of a Brown King production. Hey, hello, hello. I hope everybody's doing well. It has been a minute since I have recorded and left a podcast episode. To be honest with you, I just really just took this time to step back, rest, relax, spend time with family and friends, and just do some self work, just some self care, some things working on me, getting better, just taking some time out the spotlight, and just resting and keeping my mouth closed. So that's what I've been doing lately. But I wanted to come back and say, hey, let you know what I'm going through, what I'm thinking about, what's on my mind, what's on my heart. Today, I know we just got through celebrating Thanksgiving. So I hope everybody had a good start of their holiday season, and I hope it continues. I hope and pray it continues. For my family, this is definitely a trying time. When I say a trying time, we're celebrating death dates for my husband, mom, my mother-in-law, also for my nephew that we lost a couple years ago. It's coming up to two. It's been 2 years now for both of them, and then my husband lost his best friend 2 years ago as well, all during the week of Thanksgiving. So this is not only just a time for us to come together, hold each other, and just spend this quiet time one on one as a family, but it give us the time to think about those that we lost. And I know we're not the only one, the only family that lost people this year, this past year, or anytime. But it always just make you think about what you have and who you have in your life right now. So that's what I've been working on. That's what I've been doing, as well as my other things behind the scenes. Still working on my project management certificate. Still dealing with three busy dogs. Grace, that's the latest dog that we have. Marley and Ziggy. I've had them for about 3.5 years, the boys. And Grace, we just had her up a year and a half. So she's still the baby of the family. So they're keeping us busy. And me and Charles just doing what married couple do. Every day of being married is a blessing. And when I say it's a blessing, to have someone that you have chosen to share your life with, and any couples go through ups and downs, but I will tell you something about me and that man. We believe in love. We believe in our vows. Do we get on each other's nerves? Yes. I think I drive that man crazy. But I will tell you one thing. He's able to put up with all of my crazy, and I'm able to put up with all of his. And that's what makes us so good together. And I thank God every day for him. And I tell him, I said, you know something? I said, I could not think of anyone I would rather be married to than you. It's the small things for us. It's our love language is time being served, affirmation, touching, little notes, little I want to make. I can't wait to finish my day so I can spend some time with you. And we sit there and watch movies together, watch television together, go to bed, laugh and talk and all that stuff. That's our love language. And I encourage you guys to find that person that brings out the best in you. Even when you guys are upset or fussing or having a disagreement, and that's okay. That's part of life. No one shares the same brain, the same heart, same goal. So there's going to be disagreement, but not allowing those disagreements to separate you guys or pull you away from each other. We know how to get back to our center. We know how to get back to our sweet spot. And it's been remarkable. Every day I find out something he does not like or something that gets up under his skin. And he's learned the same thing with me. But it's good to have a good partner like that. And I want that for everybody if that's what you want. And relationships are not meant for everyone. It took me a lot of time of therapy, healing, and repairing. A lot of experiences. I would say my exes was experiences for me. They were lessons that I had to learn to get me to where I am. And I'm thankful for all of those lessons and all of those experiences. Because it helped me to get to where I am today and who I am today. And when I think that as I get older, I'm finding out that I'm a lot more flexible than I used to be. Now, don't get me wrong. I still have my core values and beliefs and things that I don't waver on. But I understand that everybody is going through something in their life. Everybody is healing from something in their life. I understand that there's people in this world that are users. I understand that there's people in this world that like to dim your light to make them feel important. I understand all of that and I'm okay with that. But I've learned to say no. I've learned to say, you know something, Nathaniel, you're doing too much. You need to pull back. And it's great having a partner there with you to help you see that sometime. Or, babe, you need to chill. Like Thanksgiving, I'll give you an example. I overextended myself. That's just who I am and what I do. Now, the music that you hear in the background, I do not own the rights to these music, but I'm in here talking to you guys and I wanted some soft music playing. So that's what you're hearing in the background. Alexa just playing some music for me. She paused as I called her name. Um, but back to what I was saying, Thanksgiving, I did do a lot. Any holiday, I knew what this holiday meant for me and meant for us as a family, as a unit. And I really wanted it to be amazing for everybody because I knew we were all going through and healing from a lot. And it was amazing. And the food, the spread, all that stuff was really good. I did some cooking. Everything turned out really good. Everybody enjoyed it. We just had our pajamas on and just sat around and chilled. And it felt good. And we actually ate early, meaning I had Thanksgiving dinner ready the day before. So Thanksgiving, we just sat around and watched parades and chilled and all that stuff like that and laughed and looked at movies and all of that good stuff. Now, also for you guys to know, I put my Christmas tree up the first weekend of November because I want a full couple months of the tree being up. Now, it's going to be down by New Year's. That's just how I roll because I would like to enjoy the season for a couple months. And we've learned in my family, we not really big on gifts. Now we do gifts, like me and my husband, we don't do gifts because we try to make every day a holiday. Every day, letting that person know I value you. I'm thankful I met you. I thank for you that you are in my life. Now, am I gonna get him something? Of course, I get him a little something, but we really don't do holidays and birthdays because we don't need a special day for us to celebrate that person. We just do it throughout that time, anytime, every time. So that's something really cool that him and I do. Now, my mom and all that, my family members, yeah, I still do things for them. Like my mom is the not the hardest, but I spend the most money on her because that's my girl. That's my queen. So I go all out for her on this. Like I've already gotten all her presents. Yes, presents. It's not just one. It's things. So I like to light her face up. I like for her to be happy this time of the year, and not just this time of year. I spoil my mom throughout the year. Like I joke and tell her all the time, girl, I should file you on my taxes. I really should. But that's my mom. And I'm sure you guys do that for your parents or whatnot. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys about today was I was getting dressed and I was just really thinking about my grandparents. I'm going to share something with you guys about my grandparents. I was thankful. I'm 46 years old. Um, I had the pleasure of seeing three generations growing up. I had my great grandparents, I had my grandparents, and I had my mom and dad. And just to share, I was blessed to have my father's side. It was my papa and my grandma. My mom's side, I only had my granddaddy, who raised me with my mom. So I was raised by my grandfather and my mom. So I got that two way of raising, baby boomer and the next generation after that. Well, before that. So I really got that. I'm grateful that I got to see that because they really taught me how to be a well-rounded individual. They taught me how to be. I got to appreciate being a boy. I got to be a young man. I got to be a man. I got to be. I got my grandfather saw me grow up. So I'm glad for that. He got this, and before he passed, and that was one thing I'm glad I got to hear him say he was proud of me. He's like, son, I'm proud of you. You've done everything that I could have ever imagined. He said, you've been places and done things that I never could do. And I'm grateful that I got to see that and hear that. And really what made me think about my grandparents today was both sides of my grandparent, my paternal and my maternal grandparent, was they were not educated people. They had no education, but they raised families. They raised their kids and the kids that came. Very smart people, humble. They bought houses, they owned land, but had no formal education. So it makes me growing up knowing that, and I got to know my grandparents. I spent time with all of them, not just one time, just getting to know them. So I got to know my grandfather, my dad, my mom, my dad, mom, my mom's grandfather, and even my my grandfather on my mom's side, his mom, Big Mama. Now, Big Mama was a character, baby. Another, never formally educated, but they raised families. And I'm not talking about, my grandfather had 3 kids. My dad on my mom on my dad's side, they had 7. My big mom on my dad's side, she had about 13, 14 kids. So they raised them. They were tough people, very humble people. My my mom, dad was a dark-skinned black man. He was we would call him a landscaper today, but he was a yard person. He took care of all the rich white people in our town. He did their yard work. Growing up, he took me to their houses. I did yard work with him. When I say they raised me to be a yard person, a cook, a cleaner, a dishwasher. Um, my mom was a maid to some of the wealthy people in our town, the school teachers, the doctors, the lawyers. So I got to see how to set a place setting. Um, they taught me everything. Everything that they could put in me, they put it in me. When it came to education, my mom made sure that she put it in me. She beaded it in me. She made sure because she knew our background. My mom and dad had a high school diploma. They made sure that I went beyond them. So each generation got better in a sense. But what really made me think about them was just how humble they were. I've lost all of them. Now my mom and dad are grandparents and great grandparents. I'm a great uncle. Um, the generations are it's moving forward and getting better and better. But something that I see that we're losing is the story of our family. I don't think my nieces and nephews and great nephew know what they mom and dad and grandparents and great grandparents went through. I have a great aunt, Aunt Mildred. Aunt Mildred is 104 years old. Whenever I get a chance to go home, I always try to make time to go over there and see her. And believe it or not, she remembers me like it was yesterday. First thing she asked, "What did you bring me? What did you bring me? What did you get for me?" So now I know at 104, a lot of her senses are not keen, but the ones that are keen to her, I always make sure I go over there and see her and spend time with her and just talk to her because that's our legacy. I want to be and see 104 and get older, but she's very sharp. She will still get you together. She will still tell you, like, listen, there's more in life than what you think. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to have the upbringing that I received because I got to see all of that in my grandparents. I got to see my grandfather not being able to go through the front door, but I was able to go through the front door because of the color of my skin being lighter than his. I got to see all of that. They got to see me graduate from high school and go to college and leave the South and go up north and come back. They got to see all of that, and I'm so grateful. I'm smiling because I'm glad that they got to see all that. They got to see me buy my first piece of property and pay cash for it. They got to see all of that, and I'm glad because we're losing that as a family now, as a unit, as people of color, black people, African American, however way you identify yourself. We're losing that in that tradition in our family of telling the story of those who came before us. I do what I do because of them. I'm able to do all of these things because of what they went through, the suffering, the going through the back door, the having to say yes sir and no sir and yes ma'am and no ma'am and bowing their heads and not looking white people in their eyes. They went through all of that so I could be able to do the things that I do today, and I don't take it for granted. I do not take it for granted. And in the same token, I shave the ground that I walk on every day because I know where I come from. I know who I come from. I know who is my creator. I know who paved the way for me. So a lot of times you're not going to see me. Excuse me, I'm just getting these sinuses are getting my butt right now. And asthma with the weather changing. And I think that is what's missing in our community today. We need to sit down and have that conversation with our young people. They're quick to be able to tell you to recite the lines to Beyonce songs on Renaissance, all of the songs that made up that concert, that CD. But are they able to tell you about their grandfather, their grandmother, their great grandmother, great grandfather? We're missing that, and we need to get back to telling those stories, of telling those truths, because you as a people, we as a people are only separated from who we are and whose we are because we don't know our story. We don't know where we come from. We don't know the kings and queens that we are. We don't know that. So we're able to be tricked and lied to and camouflaged over because we don't have that strength from within. I'm grateful for those that came before me. I'm grateful for Ed Thomas and Elizabeth Thomas and Joe Stoves and Willie Stoves, Mildred Johnson. Those are my grandparents and great aunt that I'm calling the name of. I speak their name because I'm only able to have these privileges and these rights because of the things that they went through in Alabama. I thank them. Guys, I hope you take care of yourselves. I hope you continue to be blessed. And once again, tell those stories of your family, those that paved the way, that allowed us to be able to do the things that we're able to do, because we didn't get there by ourselves. We didn't get there on our own. Somebody suffered and died. Somebody was called those names, those awful names, so for us to be able to do what we do. And I thank them. But tell your story. Tell our story. Let them know of all the courageousness that came from within. Like I remember one story my great grandmother, Big Mama, told when she was giving birth to one of the kids, and the man that her baby daddy, was up at the uptown with another woman. She gave birth. She asked my grandfather to go get her a 2x4, go to the corner store. Well, at the time, it was the only store. Go to the store and get her 2x4s, a hammer, and some nails. She got that, getting off that giving birth, she got that 2x4 nails in the end of it. And she went down there and she worked on both of them. That's the strength that I came from. I never forget her telling me that story. I was like, Big Mama, you did what? She said, oh yeah. She said, uh-huh. I'm laying up in here giving birth, and he downstairs, downtown. Well, it wasn't that far. A little corner store in the little town. The town didn't even have like two street lights, and still to this day, still have only 2 street lights. But baby, she handled him. That gives me the strength to do what I do, and know what the stock that I come from. Guys, I hope you take care of yourselves. I hope you have an amazing holiday season. You will be seeing more of me as I get back out there on social media and just doing more posting on my podcast, Brown King Production. Check it out on Spotify, YouTube, on all social media apps. Look for Nathaniel Thomas Jr. Take care of yourselves and be great. Bye.